Hey friends, Tim here from Safari Space where we discuss all things wellness and self-improvement. Today we have another reaction video and the channel I'm going to be reacting to is the Minority Mindset channel. I have spoken about this channel in my video when I was talking about the top finance channels to follow on YouTube, and I have the video up and it's a very interesting topic. I think I saw this video posted in May, the beginning of May, and I thought it was a very interesting topic to look into. I haven't fully watched the video as per usual because when I start watching the video and I think that it's going to be a good one for a reaction, I just pause it and then I watch it fully when I'm about to make the reaction. So we're going to be watching most of the video together at this point. So if you are ready for this video, stay tuned.
Richest country in the world, many people are still poor in their mindsets. What's up, everybody? I am Just Singh from the MinorityMindset.com, where money minds rethink rich. My family is from.
So please make sure you look up this channel. I have recommended it in the past and I'm still recommending it again today. I'm going to drop the link of the channel in the description box below for everybody.
In India called Punjab, and Punjab, or the whole country of India, is very different than the United States. Like at our family home in Punjab, we don't have running water and electricity 24 hours a day.
Coming from Cameroon, which is a country in Africa, I can understand where he comes from. If a lot of you were born and raised in a developed country or in the United States, you might not be able to relate to what he says, but basically he's just talking about the privilege of being in the United States right now.
The water gets shut off at around 11 a.m. and then it comes back around 2 or 3 p.m.
For most of us in the developing countries, we don't even have a set time for water shutting off or electricity shutting off. We just wake up and oops, it happened.
And then sometimes it goes out in the evening again. And so you don't have running water all day long. You don't have electricity all day long. And so when it's 110 degrees outside and when it's so humid that you feel like you can cut the air with a knife, you don't have AC. It's a very different lifestyle over there, and it's very hard for someone to become very successful because you have a lot of government regulations which restrict you from doing.
I can totally relate with the government restrictions, and that's why for most immigrants coming to overseas or the United States in particular, because I live in the United States, so I can only speak for this country, but a lot of people see this as a land of opportunity compared to where everybody is coming from, especially just because of different government regulations and even corruption.
If you live in a first world country, you can understand what I'm saying, and you have access to technology which lets you watch this video, then you are blessed.
We are blessed.
Everything that you need in order to become successful. I guess the only thing you need besides that is the right mindset, because if you have these things, if you have the ability to watch this video, if you have the technology to watch this, and you live in a first world country where you have the ability to do that, well, now that with the right mindset gives you everything you need if you want to become successful. But sometimes,
and I definitely agree,
we don't realize how good we have it. I was at the furniture store a couple weeks ago picking up some stuff, and the salesperson was really cool. I got to know him. Before he was a salesperson, he used to be a teacher. And he was talking to me about how kids don't realize how good they have an amazing life. It doesn't matter what background you come from. It doesn't matter where in the world. On Instagram, the world are literally is the land of opportunity, and yet you have people here in this country that are complaining because they feel like they weren't given something, while other people from around the world are literally willing to risk their life to be here to have.
I know a lot of people who risk their lives to come to the United States, and I can understand what he's saying here because lots of people in the United States, based on our system, they keep complaining, and I think it's also normal for even people who are in developing countries to blame the government for almost every and anything without trying. I'm not saying that most of the things that most of the people who are complaining are wrong, but I'm just saying is perspective generally. So people here, they don't know what other people are going through, so they can only complain based on what they have and what they see. It's not going to be fair to say, oh, I won't complain because I know people in Africa have it bad, or people in India or wherever have it bad. So I understand what he's saying in this sentence, but I guess let's keep watching.
Have the same opportunity. People can be so rich in the United States that the thing that bugs us is how many likes we got on Instagram. Here's the thing.
Tell me about external validation and tell me about things, they call it first world problems basically when you're when you're complaining about something that is really not big of a deal.
The way the United States economic system works is if you are willing to put in the work, you can live an amazing life. It doesn't matter what background you come from. It doesn't matter where in the world you come from. It doesn't matter what you look like.
And this is generally true. Generally true. Sometimes hard work is equal to yeah. Sometimes the more you put in, the more you get out. So you just have to be hardworking. And I said generally true.
If you're willing to put in the work, you have the opportunity to succeed. If you are not willing to put in the work, you won't. The way that the salesperson from Liberia put it is that America is the poorest rich country in the world. We are so rich in this country that we have the ability to complain and find issues in petty things because we're so rich.
First world problems.
So we have the ability to complain about things that are really not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of the world, but because we're so rich here that we can find issues and things that people on the other end of the world could never imagine. That doesn't mean that the United States is perfect. I mean, the United States has things that it needs to work on.
There you go.
We have to work on our racism issue. We have to work on our healthcare system. We have to work on our education system. We have to work on our systemic poverty issue. These are things that our country has to work on. But overall, this is the best place in the world to be if you are willing to put in work. And I think part of the problem here,
I agree. I think America has a lot of opportunity generally. I know, again, like he said, there's a lot of things that we have to work on. But most times, if you put in more work here, you're more likely to get result versus if you're in other countries that are facing this plus many other things going on.
is our kind of culture and system that it works because we live in this fast food culture where when we have a problem, we want an immediate solution.
Instant gratification, and I agree. I think we live, and also with the the rise of technology and all of that, many people just want to be instant with everything. Like if I need this, I want to get it now. It's usually not a matter of how, but it's a matter of when. And most people, when it comes to the when, they want it now.
And when you want an immediate solution, what do? Well, we try to find a cure to our symptoms instead of trying to actually fix the root cause of the problem.
That's
if
true.
you go to the doctor right now and they do a checkup on you and they check your blood pressure and they say, ooh, you got some pretty high blood pressure. Here's some medication that you can take to bring your blood pressure back down. What they're doing right now is they are treating the symptoms. They're not treating the underlying cause. They're not treating the issue that you've been eating at McDonald's 4 days a week. They're not treating the issue that you're sitting on your butt.
So, I don't know what doctors he's talking about, but I can understand what he means with a lot of providers, trying to treat the symptom versus treating the root cause. And I can see what he's meaning when it comes to generalizing to the rest of the American population, but not all doctors are like that. Most doctors are trained to look at the root cause and also discuss the root cause. So not only giving you medication, but while you're at it, you should probably try eating right and exercise and all of that.
All day, every single day. They're not treating the issue that you're not going to the gym, right? Because it's easier to treat the symptoms than it is to actually
Generally, yes, it's easier to treat the symptoms.
treat the root cause of the problem. Because when someone goes into the doctor, they got high blood pressure, they got issues, what's the doctor going to do? They're going to give you some pills to help treat the symptoms to give you an immediate cure. Now, this might
So I see where he's coming from, but again, it's not generally true. So
seem a little bit crazy, but how come when you go into the doctor and they find out you have high blood pressure, they don't hook you up with a nutritionist and they don't require you to get a trainer and go to the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week to get healthy? That way now you're working on your diet and you're working on the gym and maybe you need
it's a capitalist society. I don't want to say more, but I understand what he's saying.
medication too with that, but now you're at least working to fix the root cause of the problem instead of just trying to treat the symptoms.
I agree.
Well, there's a couple reasons why this doesn't happen. First end is the consumer side of things because consumers want an immediate fix, right? It's the fast food culture where we're not willing to put in the work or wait a long time to see the results that we want.
So I do manage, and I think this is like side story. As part of my job, because I'm a clinical pharmacist and I also manage some diabetes patients amongst other disease states. And like he's saying, it's a fast food culture where there are some patients I'm going to be like, hey, I have 2 options for you, because I always try to push the lifestyle options to everybody. do you want to exercise and diet, or do you want medication? They want medication, so what can you do? You cannot force them, because again, if you say, oh, go and exercise and diet, and they don't do it, what happens? It comes back to you, or it affects them. So push medications. That's that. So I can see it being two ways, basically.
And so it's much easier to just take a pill. And the flip side is getting you to eat healthy and go to the gym is not as profitable as keeping you on pills for the rest of your life. Plus, your insurance company's not going to cover your gym membership and your nutritionist and your trainer. But
I wish they did. Maybe if they did, a lot of patients would be motivated to do so. I think so, actually.
they will cover your pills, or at least a portion of it. It's not just healthcare. If you go to a bank and you open an account and now you get a credit card and you spend too much money and you spend more money than you have in the bank account, what's going to happen? Well, the bank is going to slap you with an overdraft fee. If you do it again, your bank's going to give you another overdraft fee. Maybe they're going to charge you a little bit more. If you do it again, they're going to give you another overdraft fee. Right? It's just overdraft fee after overdraft fee after overdraft fee. And then if you start spending money on your credit card that you don't have, well, the bank is then going to slap you with a 15% interest rate, or 20% depending on what your credit.
So that's the deal with credit card companies. Not every credit card company is out there to help you. They're there to make sure, not to make sure, but they're there in the situation that when you fall into these overdraft fees, they're cashing out at your end. I think I touched briefly on the credit card myth or unpopular opinions in my video reacting to your unpopular opinions on wellness. So please make sure you check that video out.
Credit card is. And so when you do things wrong with money, then you got to pay a fine instead of being educated. I mean, if I was king of the world, I'm not, but if I was king of the world, what I would propose is that if somebody gets an overdraft fee or if somebody gets behind on their credit card, they should be required to go through a financial education curriculum.
I agree 100%, because these are things that we don't learn in school. So if it happens out of school and in the real world, why don't we educate our youths or our citizens on how to be better with their finances?
That way they understand how to be better with their money. Like, I got a ticket a few years ago, and when I got the speeding ticket, I had to go through like a 3 or 4 hour class on...
See? If it's speeding tickets or if it's DWI or all of those things, they give classes because they know that people need it. But when it comes to finances, for some reason, they don't.
Driver's training, that way I could get these points removed off of the record, and that way I could get this ticket erased. But when I was speeding like 5 or 7 miles over the limit, I had to go through a full driver's training class. But when somebody now is risking their financial life by spending too much money or spending money they don't have, they don't get any of that financial education. They just keep getting slapped with more fines and more fees. And even if you don't require these classes, at least give people the option to waive an overdraft fee if they take a financial education class.
This is a lot of overdraft fees. Oh my goodness. This is a lot.
These are things that I don't like about the system.
Maybe we should open a bank, actually. This is a good business. I'm just kidding.
But this is where you have to be educated yourself. That way you can take care of yourself, because if you understand what's going on, you can take care of yourself much better than the majority of people. You know what? While we're on this topic, let me give you one more example about schooling. Because the way our school system works, which is very outdated, it's kind of like a factory, right? You go to school, you sit in this classroom for 8 hours a day, and then after these 8 hours, you leave, and you're taught to like just do assignments, do specific tasks that the teacher gives you. But we're not really taught to be creative. We're not taught to think. We're taught to just do.
Tell me about it. It's just ridiculous. And I think one of the things that I do not really like about the education system is, like you said, you're just taught to memorize. You're not taught to critically think. So all of these things like multiple choice questions do not really help you in the long run. And they're teaching you about stuff that is not really going to be applicable. I can think about my mathematics courses, calculus, all of those things. For me, I mean, and many other courses actually, it's not very applicable. But if you teach students about finances, no matter where you are, no matter where you go, all of those things are very applicable. So I can definitely understand where he's coming from.
Specific tasks, and it trains people to just do tasks. And then what do you see happen? You see every single president, Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter. Every single president talks about how they're going to bring manufacturing back to the United States, which
I'm just going to end it there for this video, because I try not to make my videos very long. Again, I'm going to link the full video down in the description box, so please check it out. It's the Minority Mindset channel, and I have recommended this channel in my previous video, and I will continue recommending this channel because it definitely teach you to have the mindset of a minority and basically get out of debt and be smart about your investments and all of that. So I had a good time reacting to this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you guys will go back and watch the full video and understand everything that Just Red is saying, because his points are actually very pertinent. Thank you again once more for tuning into my channel, and I hope I will see you in my next video. I have other videos that you guys can consider binge watching. Please make sure you click on them, and I will see you there when you are watching. Again, thank you so much for tuning in today, and I do hope you have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye.